Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Hello.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so nice to see you on this fabulous Shabbat together here. So nice to see you. So nice to see you too, Rabbi Cantor, Howie. Great. Okay. I'm glad we had this conversation with everybody. Hello. So if you don't know, all of us here on the bima, that's Cantor Muchnick over there. This is Howie Newmark. He is on our board of directors. He is also our president of Brotherhood, and he is quite the percussionist. So he is going to be doing a little tofing for us. What's that?
Percussing.
A little percussing. I'm Rabbi Keller. Hello. So those of you here in our space, our physical space, and those of you on our live stream, hello. I'm getting a thumbs up. The live stream is working. So you can see us, which is fabulous, and hopefully also hear us, and everything at the moment is working. So those of you in our live stream, hopefully you can join us also for our service, fully present in our service. You can chant along and pray along and read along in our virtual Siddur, our virtual prayer book, which is on our website, cbiboca.org. cbiboca.org. Go to that website. Top left corner says menu. Hit the menu button. Right under menu, it should say services. Hit the services button. Then scroll down a little bit, and you should see a beautiful photo of the cantor. And next to the beautiful photo of the cantor, there will be a little button you can press that takes you to our our virtual prayer book, and you can pray along and chant along and sing along with us throughout our service. Not only are we celebrating Shabbat, it's also we're entering into Rosh Chodesh, which is exciting. So we're going to have a little more lively, fun service, and also we have an Ufruf tonight. An Ufruf means to go up, to ascend, to come up. Usually that refers to a wedding couple who's going to get married soon, and we have that with us. We have them in our midst. So Rachel Sherman, who is our religious school director, and fiance Jared Wolf, because he has two F's at the end of his name, so I like to say Wolf, are going to be getting married. Somebody's getting married a week from tomorrow. And so we're going to be celebrating the Ufruf with them, and I hope you brought your dancing shoes, because we're going to be doing lots of dancing. No, we're just going to be doing a nice blessing for them. So that's all happening in our service, but we're going to begin with the lighting of Shabbat candles. That can be found on page 2, either in your actual prayer book, physical one, or virtual one. And we're going to invite the Kala, the bride, to join us up here to light our Shabbat candles for us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
So now that our candles are officially illuminated here on Friday nights, we can enter Shabbat of peace and Shabbat of relaxation and exhale this tough week we might have had and enter a sweet, relaxing place for us, hopefully for the next 25 hours. And to further sweeten our presence together, we are going to continue with the words of Kiddush, the sanctifying further our Shabbats. That is on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho me'ahava u'vratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit Ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim Ki vanu vacharta viltanu kidashta mikamim meshabat kodshecha Be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Amen.
Now that our time is sanctified with the lighting of Shabbat candles, and we further sweetened it with the words and with the wine of Shabbat, we continue with Kabbalat Shabbat, with this beautiful part of our Erev, our evening Friday night service, where we bring in the presence of the Shabbat bride. We'll have the actual almost bride actually in the room, but the Shabbat bride will also fill our midst, and we'll slowly bring her into our presence, and we'll continue with Zamru, which is on page 16. As we continue to fill our space with the joy and connection of Kabbalat Shabbat, the invitation of our Kala, of our bride, to join us on these 25 hours of Shabbat, we are going to continue with the pinnacle of that liturgy, and that is of Lecha Dodi. That is on page 20 and 21. We'll be doing verses 1, 2, 5 and 9. Verse number 9, we'll be standing and facing the door to welcome in the Shabbat bride. Again, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 on page 20 and 21. We continue with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmiyanu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'helitina. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki hi mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri ki va'orech umiori uri shidaberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Verse number 9.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lai 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 ya lai 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kahala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. We transition now from Kabbalat Shabbat slowly into the evening part of our service officially, but before we can get there, we have to use the great transitioner, which is Chatzi Kaddish. That's on page 26.
Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabba milma divrach yirutei ve'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'gala u'vizman kari ve'imeru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam lol mehamaya yitbarach ve'ishtabach v'yitpar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitale ve'yitala shemei dekudesha berichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran be'olma ve'imeru. Amen.
Continue now with our call to worship with the Baruch Hu, where we ask ourselves. Are we awake? Are we prepared for this moment, for our connection, for Shabbat, for the presence of God in our lives? That's page 28, and together we stand.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La 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 la
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv haravim בחוכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עיתים ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. We continue and remain standing on the bottom of page 33, where we will alternate paragraphs. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. 34-35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go is eternally Egypt. There's a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together, Micha Mocha, on page 40.
כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהי עושה, נורא עושה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. We may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We continue Hashkivenu on page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamideinu malkeinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamideinu malkeinu lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom and passion and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamideinu malkeinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamideinu malkeinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamideinu malkeinu lechayim, lechayim, lechayim.
I love Dan Nichols.
We should bring him here.
We should bring him here. We're trying. It's possible. Isn't it possible to bring him here? Maybe. If you will it, there's no dream. Thank you, Ron. That was, I felt that.
If you promote it, they will come.
If you promote it, they will come. That's right. That's true. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru, page 44.
Vishamru אותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue now with the Amidah on page 46, and together we stand.
Adonai, sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Ha'hibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Mekoneh Hakol, Vezocher Chaste Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Gula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim bechol yom yehallelu selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We take some time now for our own silent prayers, thoughts, and meditations, beginning on page 54 through page 62. When you are finished, please be seated. We continue on page 60.
Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Run with candy. So as we mentioned at the beginning of the service, one of the exciting parts of the Shabbat service is an Ufruf. And so we are very excited to bring the Kala and the Chatan and the Kala, the bride and the groom and the bride, to join us. Stand over here. Come stand over here, I guess. This is a good spot. Everyone will see you if you come stand right over here by the, just don't burn yourself with the candles. So come stand over here. That's good. Don't trip on the wire.
Nothing worse than a burning bride, right?
It's true. It's true. That'd be really awkward. You can come a little closer. Come to the closer. All right, good.
Come to the close.
Come to the closer. Mr. Wolf. Yes, sir. How are you? Well, how are you? Good. Why are you looking over there? Who are you looking at? Oh, you're looking at the camera. Oh, that's nice. Hey, Jeff. How are you? Are you filming this whole thing? You filming the whole thing? I am. Excellent. So it's Shabbat, so it's actually already the next day. So it's actually, Jewishly, it's kind of really close. Like, it's getting really close. The wedding it's this coming Saturday, right? A week from tomorrow, right? So is that correct? All right. I'm going to try and be there. It's my goal to be there, to celebrate with you and your family, and we are honored to be sharing in this moment with you. I think it took us a millisecond for this congregation to fall in love with both of you. I think a millisecond. And so we love you and we adore you both, and we just wish you joy and happiness and only fabulous, wonderful things. So we are going to begin our 3-hour service now into blessing the bride and the groom. Make sure you have your candy ready, because we're going to be doing that shortly. So, you don't have any candy? Oh, you don't have any candy? Oh, I have some. Here.
You have it all.
Here. Here. It's true. Here. Oh, here. Here's a whole basket. Oh, good. Here. Oh, there's more. Good. I'll take some more. So you can't have any. No, they're fine. Not every marriage is made in heaven, but marriage itself is made in heaven. There is no cookie mold to copy, but we each take our tools and attempt to ascend to make the blocks of our lives and build it with not a tavern, but a temple. Even when years have rolled by and there is even a sprinkle of silver in your hair, may you fall in love with each other over and over and over again. Unexpectedly, countless times, may you continue to astonish each other and dream. You are about to become, very shortly, husband and wife, to step through that gate over the Jordan River into the promised land before you, and we all want you to turn to each other, to look at each other, and to imprint the image of the person you see before you into the clay of your being, as you soon will leap into this destiny together. And so we are very excited to share with you, Mishaberach Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, Ve'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, hu yivarech et hechatan ve'et hakala. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless the chatan, the groom, and the kala, the bride, Rachel Sherman, Jared Wolf, who are soon to be joined in marriage. May the Kadosh Baruch Hu, may God help them to build a Jewish home, harboring love and harmony, peace and companionship. May their life together be illumined by your light, God. May they be faithful to the finest within themselves, within each other, and within our sacred traditions, as together we all say,
Amen.
Amen. Ow.
Odi shama beharei Yehuda uvechutzot Yerushalayim.
Oh, God, sorry.
Odi shama beharei Yehuda uvechutzot Yerushalayim. Kol sason vekol simcha, kol chatan vekol kala, kol sason vekol simcha, kol chatan vekol kala. Lay 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 lay
These are fun. This one says, I will always love you.
I had 6 of them, and I saw 5 of them hit your face, so I felt like I did well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was throwing with my left hand, so,
That's nice. Did you see what it says? You want to sing it?
What?
And I
will always love you. I will always love you. Got to do it in one breath.
That's what it says on the thing. Just saying. That's what it says on the thing. I don't know. All right. There's a guy in Jerusalem off of like Ben Yehuda Street, which is a very popular street in Jerusalem. If you've been, how many people have been in Jerusalem before? Nice. All right. So if you've been to Jerusalem, you've probably been on Ben Yehuda Street, probably, particularly if you are there on some kind of trip or some tour. They schlep you there because that's where you can buy all the good cheesy stuff. But they have some really nice stuff too. And there's one guy just off the corner of Ben Yehuda Street, and his name is the Kippah Man. Yeah, Kippah Man. Right. So if you know Kippah Man, he is this incredibly fabulous guy who has the smallest shop that's ever made by a human being. And in it, literally in every crevice where he stands, are piles of kippot. But I mean like stacks. And he knows every kippah in that place. He knows blue, green, yellow. He knows whatever, sports team, soccer, football, baseball. It doesn't matter. He knows your size. He'll look at you. He knows your size. He knows the shit. And I have to tell you that no matter the gap of time that it takes me to go back to Israel, I always go see the Kippah Man. And every time I walk in, he says, oh, you, with the strange fitting head, he says to me. Every time is what he says to me. And he's like, every time I find one, I save it for you. And every time I show up, doesn't matter how long, he has a stack of kippot that literally just fit right on my head. And I'm wearing one of those kippot right now. Every time, without fail, the whole stack fits, which is also probably a very good sales gimmick for him, because that means I'm going to buy all 30 of those kippot because they all fit my head perfectly. My wife, Lisa, does not like when I go visit the Kippah Man because I buy all of them. And they're all kippot srugot. They're all these like specially handmade kippot, and they're perfect, and they're form-fitting, and they're fabulous. So if you ever go to Jerusalem, find the Kippah Man, little tiny place, and he will get you any kippah that you want on the planet, and it'll be fit perfectly. So shout out to him. The question I have for you is, why do we wear kippot in general? Why does someone wear a kippah? And there are a lot of different answers, and some of them are, Kabbalistic and really connective. But I actually want to connect it to this week's Torah portion, which is called Achrei Mot. I feel like we've been talking about Achrei Mot for a year, because we've been talking about it from the second Pesach ended, and I have 17 iterations of Achrei Mot that I have taught, and it's still Achrei Mot. It switches tomorrow afternoon. But tomorrow morning, by the way, at 8:30, we'll be talking about Achrei Mot. So we're still talking about the Torah portion. So Achrei Mot is, according to Rabbi Bradley Artson, who is the chair, he's the head of the rabbinic school is the Ziegler School in Los Angeles at the University of Judaism. And he actually says, this Torah portion is a mess. Literally what he says. He says it starts by Aaron picking up goats that eventually get pushed off a cliff, and they carry the sins of the Israelites. It follows into a whole particular string of information about how the holiness of eating an animal and how you have to kill it before you eat it. It's even like goes into a deeper version of kashrut. And then it goes on to a whole very lengthy discussion about, I'm going to use the terms gender orientation in our space, and the complicated nature of gender orientation. It's a wild Torah portion, and it's kind of a mess. So much so that he goes on to say, Rabbi Artson goes on to say, what are we to make of this weird Torah portion? And why do we have to read it? Like, why is it even in the Torah portion? It's kind of barbaric and a little bit weird. Of all the Torah portions, this one particularly, some of them have weird, and then, yeah, good thing, and then like weird, and then good thing, and there's balance. This one's kind of just weird in general. In fact, I talked about this a few weeks ago in front of a bunch of rabbis, and they were like, whew, I'm glad you had to talk about that one and not me, because it's a weird one. Now, he goes on to ask the question, Torah portions should be uplifting, they should be spiritual, they should be lovely, They should be great. So shouldn't the Torah portion help us ascend and transcend and move past like physical urges and achieve more angelic state and all this beautiful stuff? Why do we have to have this kind of weird Torah portion? So he says that there's a midrash, there's a story that portrays the angels in heaven arguing with God, and they're talking to God and they're saying, you should not make human beings. The angels are arguing with God and they're saying, don't do it. Don't make them. Do you know why? Because they cheat and they steal and they're mean and they're unkind to people and they're not courteous. They don't say sorry. They don't say you're welcome. They're just mean. So don't make them, because if you don't make them, then we don't have to worry about this mess. They actually go on to say they don't deserve the Torah. They don't deserve Torah. But Moses chimes in and says to the angels, he screams up to the angels and says, no, wait a second. The laws of the Torah are not meant for angels. They're meant for imperfect beings. Imperfect beings are human beings. And so that's why we're taught not to bear false witness. That's why we're taught not to steal. Because we're humans. We're not perfect. We're not angels, even though your grandma might have said you were an angel. We're not necessarily angels because we are imperfect. A community of perfect saints does not need the Torah, because the Torah teaches us how to live and how to figure out things. The Torah is for us. It helps with the struggling. It helps with the urges. It helps with trying to make meaning and sense of justice and imperfection in the world and the issues in the world. That's what Torah is for. And so the Torah portion teaches us that the spiritual and the physical are actually not opposites, because the physical weird stuff in the Torah portion can easily be blended with the holiness of it, and they kind of work together. So rather, the path of holiness means that we have to take our physical, our urges, the things that our impulses, and we have to find a way to elevate them. And so one reason you wear a kippah is for you to remember that you end here. No matter how great you think you are, no matter how wonderful you think you are, how smart you think you are, you know what? This thing just ends right here. So don't think you're so great. Now, some people don't need a kippah for that, particularly in our movement. No one says you have to wear a kippah. What the Torah portion is saying, though, that this is how we should function. Whether we're actually wearing a kippah or not, we should have this concept in our minds that we are human, and in that humanity, we should be happy in our humanity, and to know that in that humanity, we have the space to grow. We have this chance to sort of rise, to appreciate the gratitude and the joy. Can we recognize our friends who are a little different than we are, not pretend we're something else? All these different pieces that we can do, that we usually do because we're human. It's okay as long as we find a way to elevate ourselves. So not only do I wish you a pleasant trip to Israel, to visit the Keep a Man, if you have not been there before, this is another plug for our Israel trip, June 11th of 23. If you want to join us, you can come and hang out with us, June 11th, leave here of 23 and go to see the Keep a Man yourself and tell him, oh, I heard all about you. So not just that on the importance of kippot, but here's the important thing, really, truly, deeply, is that we are probably not angels, but that's okay. Because the purpose of Torah is to make us real people. People like us into better, holier beings. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to think of those now in our community who are in need of healing, a physical, emotional, or spiritual healing. Here at CBI, we are thinking of Chava, Leah but Esther, Gary Bandel, Daniel Bernstein, Gloria Bernstein, Lillian Bushell, Sloan Caston, Brian Church, Karen Coles, Chuck Curry, Cheryl Cutler, Casey Daskell, Mark Davis, John Day, Jaden Deal, Judith Dratler, Martin Edelman, Margot Engel, Bobby Fitchman, Herbert Fitchman, Jean Frankel, Rhoda Friedman, Stuart Fruman, Susie Glatt, Jill Gottlieb, Martin Edelman, Ellen Hedrick, Larry Horn, Irv Hurwitz, Stan Jacobson, Ira Kafka, Shirley Kafka, Gary Kane, Bonnie Kleinman, Michelle Kingen, Esther, Rhoda Kaufman, Stuart Kruger, Gloria Land, Rochelle Liebman, Michael Stephen Linder, Michael Medoff, Yankel Yitzchak Ben Moshe, Barbara Newmark, Linda Greenblatt Newworth, Arnold Plotsky, Gloria Plotsky, Elliot Porowich, Mark Rosenberg, Howard Rosenbluth, Richard Rosenbluth, Chuna, Ben Ruth, Moshe Ben Sarah, Lexi Schlesenberg, Jason Seidman, David Schwartz, Ezra Shashua, Matthew Smith, Diane Spiro, Gloria Spiro, Norman Stolak, Svia Bat, Liba Tamara, Barbara Weiss, Ashley Weiss. To those names, we had any name that you would like to add at this time. Shbarach can be found on page 253. 253.
Mi shebeirach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
First and most important announcement is immediately following services, come out of the sanctuary, make a right turn, make another right turn into our North Social Hall, because the wedding couple is inviting you to have a dessert soiree next door. It is like, I hope you didn't eat all day, because it's going to be awesome. I didn't eat all day in preparation.
I find that hard to believe.
I ate a little bit, but I had a salad. I had a light salad.
I find that hard to believe too.
No, I had a salad. It was a really good salad, actually. It was a big salad. Thanks for asking, though. It's nice. What'd you have for lunch?
Leftovers from dinner.
That you made or Dina made?
Dina made.
That Dina made. All right, great. Okay, excellent. So that's the first thing. So out, right, write again, and then just enjoy lots of fabulous sweetness that hopefully will begin right here and continue. Well, it has been going on, the sweetness, for a long time, but continue from now and all the way into the week until Saturday night, and then throughout forever and ever. And may you furnish us with great ice cream always. Thank you. You're welcome. Tomorrow morning, 8:30, is our Zoom service and Torah study. We'll be studying Achrei Mot. Again, still, if you want to talk about it, it's going to be really fabulous. We'll be talking about some of the more complicated pieces of the text tomorrow, if you want to join us. That's tomorrow. And then, what else is coming up?
Shavuot.
May 13th, thank you. It's good to have the religious school director here. So May 13th is our 12th grade graduation. It's in this very room. So hope that you'll be able to join us for services and celebrate our 12th graders. Also, you should come because it is Chardonnay Shabbat that night, which means that immediately following the service, you can join us outside, and our VIP caterers will be having, we're calling it light bites. There's nothing light about those bites. They are big bites. And an open bar. So join us for libations and for heavy light bites and celebrating our 12th graders. Then at the conclusion of the Omer, we always get to Shavuot, and so we'll be celebrating Shavuot.
Confirmation.
And confirmation also on that day, and also Yisker will be happening at that service as well. So that's what's coming up. I think that's what's coming up. May 18th. Annual meeting. Man, it's good to have the president here, so that's good. Thank you. It's good to have the president of the congregation here also. So thank you. May 18th is the annual meeting. We actually need you to either show up, please, or at least fill out your proxy, because otherwise we can't do anything, because we're a congregation, and so congregations only function when the congregants are saying, like, yes, we want to do everything. So please, if you have not, we have to get 960,000 proxies, and we're at 3. I'm just kidding. But please either come, because I think there's going to be some light bites. Yes, there's going to be light bites also. I
see a theme.
There's a theme. There's a theme. Come for light bites, or you can do the proxy online. But please do either. All of you in the live stream world too. Either please do the proxy on live stream. If you have a question of what we're talking about, by the way, if you're like, I don't know what he's talking about, either call our office or email us, and we'll be able to explain. But that's very important. So thank you, President's here. What's that? Sisterhood Shabbat. It's good to have the head of Sisterhood here. Also, thank you, Rana. That is on May 20th. 20th. Yes. So our Sisterhood will be leading the service. I believe Rabbi Silvers will be here on that night also, helping to lead that service. Cantor Munchtik will also be here. So it's going to be anything else I'm missing? Any auxiliary of the congregation that wants to shout out something? Brotherhood? Howie, you're the president of the Brotherhood. You're sitting right here for everybody. Go ahead, Howie. There are happy hours coming up, but that's always what the Brotherhood says. But yes, that is the constant what the Brotherhood says.
They're not light bites; they're just light drinks.
Exactly. I think that's good. I think we've accomplished all of the. Our executive director is also here. I don't want to leave him out. Hi, Steve. Great. Do you want to say anything? No, he's shaking his head no. Great. We're going to begin to conclude our service. Aleinu can be found on page 282, and together we stand.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשינו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו
קוראים
ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
In a moment, we'll continue with Kaddish Tom, with Mourner's Kaddish. We mourn the passing of Doris Gold, mother of our member Julie Note, grandmother of Jordan, Haley, Cassidy, and Kennedy. That funeral will take place on Monday of this coming week. We think of those in the period of Shiva, Susan Silver, and Cindy Walkoff, and in the period of Shloshim, the immediate 30-day mourning period, Stephanie Meiselman, Paulette Howard. Also, our yortzeits that occur for us this week here at Congregation B'nai Israel: Phyllis Feldbaum, Fanny Gerber, Charlotte Gottlieb, Emmanuel Golden, Bertha Itzkowitz, Rudolph Kirschner, Joseph Klein, Murray Kopita, Judith Lax, Stanley Miller, Anne Sanfilippo, Jacob Siegel, Fanny Silverman, Ina Stanley, Pearl Stein, Edmund Vaklis. To those names, we had any name that you would like to add at this time? Kaddish Tom Mourner's Kaddish 294. Itkadal v'kadash merabah, be'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chaye chon v'yom chon v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabah mevorach le'olam u'mei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. We have the one who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us and to all Israel, as together we say, amen. Please be seated. We're going to conclude our service this fine Erev Shabbat with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. Last time. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Adonai oz la'amo eten, Adonai v'rech et amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto our people, continue to bless us with hope and strength and love and peace. Mazel tov to our Chatan and Kala, and Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.